Tasers for all frontline officers, Police Federation. All frontline police in England and Wales should be offered tasers in light of the increased terrorism threat, the head of the Police Federation says. Steve White said the devices would help protect against dangerous people who could be preparing to attack officers. "We've got to show our officers that we're taking the threat seriously," he told Radio 4's Today. Chief Constables lead expert on armed policing said extended use of tasers should be linked to risk assessment. Simon Chesterman, deputy head of the Civil Nuclear Constabulary, is the Association of Chief Police Officers lead on armed policing. "I support extended rollout of taser if, linked to threat and risk assessment, standards not diluted, volunteers only," he tweeted. Mr. White told The Guardian that terrorists seeking to attract attention could attack at any time, anywhere in the UK. The Federation is to vote on the proposal to offer all frontline officers taser training next month. Some officers may choose not to carry one, it says. Respond to threat. Continue reading the main story. Start quote. "The alternative is to have officers out there without anything at all. We have to do something." Steve White, Police Federation. "It has been shown that tasers could keep officers and the public safe," Mr. White told Today. And he said police officers should be able to respond to the current threat environment. "We've got to make sure that we give them every opportunity to respond to the threat," he said. "Because it's not just their personal safety, it's the safety of the public as well. Less than lethal." He told the program he was making the call after seeing the usefulness of tasers. Mr. White made a similar call when vice chair of the Federation, following the murder of Fusilier Lee Rigby. Tasers were introduced into British policing in 2003 as a non-lethal alternative for firearms officers facing potentially dangerous suspects. Officers are required to take a training course before being allowed to use a taser, and they are told only to deploy them when threatened with violence. Use sparingly. Between January and June 2014, the weapons were fired 826 times out of the 5,107 occasions they were deployed. There have been a number of deaths related to the use of the stun guns. Amnesty International UK's Arms Programme Director Oliver Sprague said, "We've always said that tasers can have a part to play in policing operations where there's a clear risk of death or serious injury to police officers or members of the public, but tasers should be used sparingly and only by highly trained officers." He also queried if there was evidence that a terrorist would be deterred by knowing police officers were armed with tasers. Sophie Khan, a solicitor, said the weapons are being used too often. "People who are mentally ill are being tasered, people from a certain minority background are being tasered," she said. "When there is an incident, the taser comes out and the person is tasered without really going through the motions of what it is that's happening in front of them.